All right, so I'm filming my goodbye video to the Skyward Sword statue. This is kind of a big deal for me because I've had it for over a decade, and a lot of people recognize it, or when they think of the store I had in the past in Northwest Florida, it was always like on display, kind of a centerpiece. And then it's been in storage for about 7-8 years now, about 7 years. But it's always, it was on display over there. So when we have our warehouse meetups and everyone's, partying and doing their things on all the tables, like there's that weird sword over there. And a few guys knew what it was and they, asked me about it, talked about it, but it's always like a not for sale piece. So it's rare. That's the thing, is like, I'll never have this thing again. They made 12 of them for the 2011 Nintendo Mall Tour in North America, and I've seen pictures on Google of what those setups would look like. So it'd be like areas in the mall where normally they'd probably rent out kiosks and stuff to people selling Pokemon cards. You know how it goes. And Nintendo would just find malls where they had a nice real estate in open areas in the mall, and it would set up this thing where this would be on like this grassy plain, this like putter's green artificial turf type thing, make it look all pretty. And they had these like kiosks running Skyward Sword demos. I think it was really just a big Skyward Sword push. Like it was totally Zelda themed, their setups, but I'm sure they were demoing other stuff and showing off whatever other products were coming out around holiday season 2011. So one of the malls of the 12 that they stationed these things at was I was stationed at Glendale, Arizona, Luke Air Force Base, and there's a mall, I forget what it is, the Chandler Square Mall or Tempe or something. This is all documented, by the way. There's a person that keeps a website that tracks who owns it and where it came from, which mall it was at. So it's a known mall in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'd be at work calibrating torque wrenches and doing my thing, and I'd pull my phone out every now and then and check Craigslist for, I think, video game section. I haven't used Craigslist in so long, but looking out for games. Maybe I was typing in Nintendo and stuff, and I see this thing pop up, and the year is like 2012, early 2012, and the guy wanted $150, and I remember like didn't want to chance losing it. Well, this thing where you just know it's like, just for what it is, just for the aesthetic of it, the size, the quality, it's like not even knowing how collectible it could be in the future or any of that. It's just like, I want this thing bad enough to offer him $50 more. That's the old trick, by the way. Do that. If it's a deal that's too good, you don't want to miss out. Like, make sure you throw them a, little bit of hold on to it for me. I'll be there in 6 hours to pick it up. I'll give you an extra $50. So that's what I did. $200. When I got there, the guy had like a 5-year-old son that was playing with the sword. Comes out and he's swinging it around, and shook his hand, did the deal, put it back in my car, and then I guess the rest is history. Just was part of the game store, and it slowly would like climb in value. That's the other part of the story, is like people would ask me like, how much you want for it, and I'd be like, it's been a few years of having it, and oh shit, it's rare as hell. I still can't find much info on it. I want $1,000. And then they say, I'll give you $400 for it. That's the best I'll do. And I was like, I'd rather hold on to it for that. Then a couple of more years would go by and somebody would be like, I'll give you $800 for it. I'm like, I want $2,000 now. Like the more time goes on, the more I'm realizing how truly rare this thing is. And then it was finally, after a few more years, I found information about it. Somebody started keeping an archive of who has these statues, and it turns out mine was the second one ever discovered. When I posted it, I think on eBay or something, and I got contacted by somebody explaining me more about what it is. And so on this website that tracks them all, it's like first one discovered so and so, and then second one discovered yours truly. And since then, there's a total of 4 that are all complete. And there was a fifth one recently discovered about a year ago that had the front completely removed. So the guy had to repurpose it. He had to refurbish it. So that's the story of my Skyward Sword statue. And this is the last day that it's in the warehouse. So goodbye, Skyward Sword statue. And the last thing to point out that I thought was pretty nice was a little ESRB placard on it. That makes it feel like it's part of your Wii collection, you know. So there you go.